hurt, so he just misses and misses. Because if Kobe's not up to par, that team's not that good.
And then what you do is you awake a sleeping monster, which is the absolute best player hands down in the NBA. You come after him like that.
When he's hurt?
That competitive
When
drive.
he's hurt?
Listen, you've seen
And
her
so
players.
he's Jordan with the flu now, I see.
Everybody who knows sports knows that when a great athlete, even when they're hurt, they'll step up even more. Exactly. You won a Super Bowl when you were injured. Did you not? Mr. I made the best block in Massachusetts high school football history with a sprained ankle. Am I right? You couldn't even walk after the game. Kobe Bryant is the absolute best basketball player in the world right now. And if you start coming after him like that, he's going to take over.
So you saying the series is done?
No, what I'm saying is that...
It's a simple question, yes or no?
What I'm saying is that if the Lakers play...
Wake up, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a Game 7. We're going to have a Game 7.
No, we're not going to have a Game 7.
We're going to have a Game 7. Two of them, by facts, in the West.
It's over.
Two of them in the West. They're not going to go to Utah. That's the toughest place to play. They are not going to go to Utah and shut them
Let me say this right now.
They are not.
You're missing the point, Kyrie. I'm calling out Carlos Boozer.
Where is Carlos Boozer?
Carlos Boozer, great
Game
player.
5, I haven't seen him.
Great players at the end of the day carry your team.
Yep. Right.
He's not. You've admitted that he hasn't been stepping up.
Nope.
Okay, he can't carry the Utah Jazz.
I mean, he's having. See what it is you guys is he's having a very hard time on defense. And it's not easy guarding Lamar Odom. I mean, Boozer's about 270. You can't really stick with Lamar Odom because, as a matter of fact, you forgot Lamar is taller than Boozer. Lamar's almost 7 foot, and he's like you said, he's a point forward. So another point, he's wearing him out on the defensive end, just driving right by him. You know, obviously he's the athletic advantage here, and he's not making his easy back. You see him; he missed a couple dunks, missed layups. Little 5-10 foot jump shots. He's not making them. But the reason, listen. As well as Kobe played and carried his team, as bad as Boozer, not really bad, but and as average as he's played,
been bad.
This series is 2-2.
You're right, and they only won 2 games in Utah.
So did LA.
And
so did LA.
Now, which were more convincing?
So did LA.
Convincing.
So did LA.
Convincing.
So did LA.
Utah has not convinced.
LA hasn't proved they can win.
I watched those games in Utah, and LA's in them. So
were the Jazz.
No, they were not.
So were the Jazz.
No, they were not.
So were the Jazz. They didn't lose by 20.
In the 2 games in LA, the Jazz had the lead for a total of 5 minutes. For a total of 5 minutes.
Control of the game. If you're saying the series is over, I'm willing to go to Atlanta. This series is going 7 games.
No, it is not.
This New Orleans and San Antonio is going 7 games.
All right, now
question. You say it's going 7 games?
It's going.
Who's winning?
Jazz are going to upset him.
All right.
Williams going to
you heard it here.
Let's go to the next series.
He's going to make Jack Nicholson put on the shades.
Who's going to have the game-winning shot?
He's going to make him sit down and stop clapping his hands.
Who's going to have the game-winning shot?
Sit down. Jerron Williams is going to make the game-winning shot. Because you know what's happening to Kobe Bryant? He's going to go to the basket, going to wring his neck, and he's going to say, Phil Jackson, take me out. I need an ice pack. He's going to take over Game 7.
All right, next question. You just precursored it. New Orleans against the San Antonio Spurs. First of all, do we underrate New Orleans, and can they make it to the finals?
Oh, man, I admit I did.
I did.
I thought they were going to get the playoffs and go, ooh.
I think what we have here is something that's happened in the NBA where New Orleans didn't have that much exposure. They never really got that much exposure as many of the big market teams. So we didn't really know what they were about. You hear stories, you see them highlights, and you don't really know what they're about, and you judge them, and then you say, it's a fluke. Then they get to the playoffs, they dominate the first round, and then they beat the Spurs soundly in the first 2 games, and then they go.
The third game was really close.
I think everybody's underrated the New Orleans.
They have what I call Chris Paul, which is what I like to call a line cutter. You ever been in high school and your lunch is starving, okay? You cut the line. I'm hungry. I don't care how hungry you are. I'm hungrier, okay? Kevin Garnett is not a line cutter. You know, he'd sit back and wait till the bell rings and wouldn't eat. I'm sitting down enjoying my lunch, okay? Chris Paul's a line cutter. And you need those type of players. Those type of players are dangerous. Having said that, young teams don't win championships. Let's be honest. San Antonio's probably going to win that 6 and 7 games. Young teams. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Young teams never win championships. They do all sort of
what we're going to talk. Go ahead.
I'm going to raise my hand and say this. I mean, everyone's hopping on this Chris Paul bandwagon. I think he's phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. But I don't think he's really the most shocking person on that team. I think it's the head coach. This guy can coach. This guy can coach.
You're absolutely right. Now,
it's not easy playing San Antonio.
Now, what I want to know, you know what's going to prove to me that he can coach?
LA couldn't do that, I don't think.
You know what's going to prove to me? Do you know what's going to prove to me that he could coach? If
he could really coach.
If he could win with this new little scheme that the Spurs have designed to beat the Hornets. Let Chris Paul do everything and everybody else can't do anything. So far, I see Chris Paul having great games, but the Spurs have taken them completely out of their game. The Spurs have shut down everybody else. The Spurs have shut down everybody else on that team, and they say, "Hey, Chris Paul, beat us by yourself."
And he's done that.
Not in
those 2 games.
Not against the
Well,
Spurs.
game 3 was close.
It was really
game 3 was close.
35 points.
Listen. He hasn't done it again because that was the first game that they implemented. Game 4 wasn't close.
There's very few players in the NBA that could win a game by themselves. Okay, there's 3 players. I'll name them right now. There's Kobe Bryant. Okay, there's LeBron James who did it against Detroit, won that series by himself, and Chris Paul could do that. Okay, but what you said about Brian Scott? Coaching's overrated. Coaching's overrated. Coaching in the NBA is overrated.
You're missing somebody huge.
Are you going to say David West?
You're saying the guys who could completely take over a game?
Yeah.
You're missing somebody huge. And he's from your Western Conference prediction.
Are you talking about Timothy Duncan?
I'm talking about Timothy Duncan.
You know what? You're damn right.
You missed out on Tim Duncan, the best power forward.
I apologize.
This guy's an animal.
I apologize. I'm wrong. Timothy Duncan.
Timothy got about Tim Duncan, who I still think is the best player in the NBA.
Guys, that is it for the first segment of Steppin' Up Big Time. Second segment, we got more NBA talk to go. This is, I call this part 1 of our 6-part NBA direct feedback series. Goes all the way to the NBA Finals. We're with you right here at the playoffs. We are here, Steppin' Up Big Time, by your side. You know, that's how we're doing it this summer. But, guys, any final questions, comments, concerns before the second segment?
No. Championship, Lakers and Celtics.
All right, guys, we will see you in the second segment. Enjoy this commercial.